is an adversary. What it says, there are many antichrists. Hey, you walking around with a mask on in line, you're an antichrist. Straight like that, you're an antichrist. You know.
1 John 2 and verse 18, it says, "Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come."
Right, because I remember when I was in the world, I was just thinking, oh shit, man, this president might be the Antichrist. You know, a lot of people thought Barack Obama was the Antichrist, or you might have thought Trump was the Antichrist, you know what I'm saying? So you're looking for a guy to come on the scene to get shit popping, but then you come to the truth, you realize, damn, like, everybody is Antichrist. My family is fucking Antichrist.
Yep.
You know?
Hey, well, Damien's been on the scene since the Renaissance. Because that's what they call him in the movie, Damien. But since he came out the caves, he's a nation of anti-Hamashiachs. He is a nation of Antichrist. So there's a nation of Antichrist on the earth. And then they have this ooze, this philosophy, these spells that they get other people. You know, they show you that in movies. There's one guy and he'll start getting other people, you know?
And it says, even now are there many antichrists.
Yeah, there's many. Even amongst Israel, even amongst the different alphabet camps like Yohana, who's telling you to go and get the shot. That's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to tell you to drink.
People that's not telling you the name is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's an Antichrist.
Yeah.
You know, they're not confessing that the Lord, you know, they're not confessing his true name unto him.
Fighting against it, bucking up against it. Especially with Jake. That's why it says they that call themselves are not, but they're the synagogue of Satan, man. You know, they're for the agenda of the elites.
And it says, whereby we know that it is the last time.
Right, it's the end. Which had been the last time since the Lord got on that cross for us. Now we're in like the last seconds.
Yep.
You know, to us it may be moving slow, but actually it ain't moving slow because the days are short. You know, I just blinked and it's in this camp again. I'm like, damn.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. You wanted Psalms 83? This is Psalms 83 and 2, and it reads, "For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee."
Right, a tumult is like a war cry. They're devising a plan, cunning craftiness. So this whole thing, how it started in China, then it came over here. Now you have Asian Lives Matter, the Asian Hate Bill. It proves that they're in league with one another. Right? All of these nations, even with Elam in India. You know?
Yeah, and over in China, you got nothing but facial recognition, a social credit score system, completely no physical currency, concentration camps for Christians. They're being used as a testing ground for what they plan on bringing here, man. You know? So, hey, you got to remember the elites have certain countries in league, even though the presidents may not be. Because they got, 6 proxy wars? You know? They got wars that they want to be orchestrated. And Iran's one of them. You know?
I think they're the last country that doesn't have
Iran.
a banking system set up in it.
Yeah, they're one of the final ones.
Yep.
But really, when they do that, that's a wrap.
Yep.
You know? That's the snare.
Yep. Psalms 83 and 3, I'll read 2. It says, "And they that hate thee have lifted up the head."
Right, and all these people hate our power. You know, we know they hate our power because they're into Satanism. They're into love of self. You know, they're into do as thou wilt. And they hate us. So if they hate us as being the Israelites and they won't tell us who we are, that's hate for our power automatically. And that's why King David said, "Do I not hate them that hate thee? I hate them with a perfect hatred." You know?
And it says, 3, "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones."
Right, the word crafty, that goes back to Esau being a cunning hunter and a man of the field. And this whole idea is very crafty when you step back and look at the big picture. He came out with a goddamn scam gimmick. You know, he got people, it destroyed the businesses, make you wear a mask. You know, it's very crafty.
Yeah.
It's to the point where a lot of people believe that. And they went and got that shot, and now they have died. It's plain examples.
And you can't do nothing against the truth before, because here it is, you know, they'll be like, "Well, where's your God?" And we say he's invisible. But then you walk around with a mask, we're like, "Well, where's CV?" It's in the air. You can't see it. But you can believe something you can't see, but we can't believe something we can't see.
Right, you have faith that the disease is there.
Right.
I can't have faith that my power is here.
Right, complete hypocrites, you know? And it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people. So the main opposition that they have is against who? Us. That's why it says we should be the sand of the sea. That's why he wants to do a mass depopulation. Because it's like there's so many of them. Fuck it, just, you know, we have to take a majority of everybody out. And I said through the spirit, because now they got this thing going on. That dude's, you see that dude? That's Satan. You got this thing going on. Oh, you brothers, watch out. We ain't see you there, brother. You got this thing going on where they're trying to say men can have children. It's all good. It's all good. It's Satan. Yeah. But they got this thing going on. You brothers see it where they're trying to say they're trying to have men have their own babies. So, right. But what I believe, they're doing that because when any movie you ever watch that an apocalyptic event happened and they're in the future, you never see any Jakes, you only see Esau, but he's trying to bring back his nation. So he's attempting to do a world domination and rebuild the earth with his seed. That's what he wants. That's why he wants to take all Jake out, and he wants to be, oh, you had that movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dad, Mom or something, where he was so-called pregnant?
Oh, wow.
See, so they're showing you in these movies. They're trying to figure out ways to inseminate life without a woman. And that, or a man could do it. Because why? What they're getting ready to enter, how are they going to rebuild? How are they going to repopulate the earth after amass the population of Jake through their seed?
That shows you that the Lord has them in a perfect trick bag because they actually believe they're going to rise again from the ashes like that phoenix. You're never going to rise again. It's written, it says, Babylon shall fall and shall not rise again.
Yep. Yep.
And that's why in that movie that we had watched, remember when I guess meteors were crashing down to Earth?
Greenland?
Yeah, remember the elites were only basically getting people that were, you're good,
you're a construction, you're a doctor, you're an architect.
You got to have some type of skill.
Yep. And that, sorry, no, you got it.
I was going to say it was scared because I think like a year ago I did a video on when this COVID first happened. You know, it says the elites were going into bunkers and they had lower class Jakes. I mean, not lower, were people that were basically skilled at certain things. They had doctors, boom, this and that. Because like y'all mentioned, you know, rising up out of the ashes, they expected after all this is said and done to come back out and rebuild a civilization.
Yeah, they're not going to rebuild it. They're going to have people rebuilding it for them. Just like we ain't going to rebuild the kingdom, we're going to have people building it for us. You know, so he's doing the same thing that ultimately we're going to do in righteousness. You know, but it says when they shall build, I'll throw down.
This is his attempt to get back to birthright. That's really what it all goes back to.
Yep.
You know, he's still angry that he got supplanted. You know.
So, yep.
That's why he's killing all these Jakes.
Yep. Because he wants to take Jake out so he can get the law in Exodus, the firstborn. So he wants that firstborn right back, and it makes sense. He want to kill all Jake. Then he puts on as Jake, and then he's going to say, "Here I am. I'm the Jew." Remember he said it?
Yep.
He said, "Here I am. I'm the Jew."
Right, because that's what Jacob did. Put
See?
on the hair,
Yep.
made himself hairy.
Yep.
But he didn't sound like himself.
Yep.
He still gave it to him.
Yep. So Esau's trying to fight against prophecy. That's why he wants to mass depopulate it.
That's why he has a space force. That's why he goes into the sea.
Yep.
What it says Jeremiah, I'm going to cast you off from being a nation.
Yep.
Yep.
See? So he wants to get rid of all the males again. You know? Psalms 83.
Make America great again.
He wants to make America great again. Psalms 83 and 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Right, these wise BLM, that's a part of the crafty council too. Because you get in there, you think, oh, this is for black people. Really, it's about home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The alphabet people. Say it that way. You know?
Hey, when I was first learning the truth, not knowing nothing, I went to a BLM protest. I was mad as fuck. You know, you just coming in, you learning. And I go to this corny ass rally, and it's a damn fucking Lisa Leslie doing a robot on this like concrete wall. And I was in the spirit. I was like, "This why you niggas getting shot?" And everybody was like this. I was hot, you know what I'm saying? And people actually started getting drawn to me, you know, and I was telling people, I had my shirt that said not black, you know, Hebrew Israelite. People were like, you know, and I was trying to tell them the name of the Lord, you know. I called into work and everything, man. But I was in the midst of that shit, and it's complete folly. It's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit. This is Psalms 83 and 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Yeah.
Right, not all the world.
Especially the men.
Right. Yep.
Going back to Exodus.
Yep.
He said, let us kill all the firstborn,
Yep.
male, but if it be a female, save her alive.
Yep.
You know, because that's how you cut off a nation.
Yep. And then Herod did it, right? And because now he has crafty counsel specifically against our people, but he has a wicked philosophy over the other nations in the world. It says, and consulted against thy hidden ones, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right? They want to cut us off. They don't want us calling ourselves Israel. They don't want us out here. Pretty soon, we won't be able to be out here, man.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Think we're going to be out here while it's tanks rolling down, people fighting. You know what I'm saying? A neighbor not having pity upon his neighbor. You know? These buildings going to be on fire and shit. You know?
Yeah. And it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right, and that's why you have the what's his name? Was it Jesse Jackson? Who been an African American?
Yep, when he was running for president. So they only had the crafty council set him up to run as president, to have this people's leaders cause him to err. So they put him up on a level that he should be looked at as a leader, and whatever he said goes. And then what he said goes. I'm not black no more.
They showed you that movie, Undercover Brother, with the president. He was supposed to run, but then he ended up opening a chicken chain.
See? So they were showing him right there. And then a good example says, cut Israel off from being remembrance. Hey, in the world, I didn't even know there was a thing called an Israelite. I heard Jew.
I never knew there were more tribes.
Right.
I only thought it was just the Jews.
See?
I'm coming to find out it's 11 other tribes. You know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's right in the Bible. But they push an agenda not to go into these parts of the Bible. So then you, by nature, John 3:16, John 3:16. Yep. Everybody, that's a demon. There's actually a spirit on John 3:16 with these people.
Yeah, because they believe that they are the world that it's talking about. You know?
Yeah. When it tells you precept upon precept.
Actually, we're the world.
Right. Yeah. So what's your precept for that? Because we got precepts on it. Psalms 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent, one world order, like King Wicked Antiochus. With one consent, they are confederate against thee.
Yeah, they all came together, and when they have these big UN meetings, there's no Israelites there. It's all these other heathen nations conspiring against us. The Bilderberg groups, you know, all of these people, they come together and they figure out who to put as a head to deceive our people, like the Young Thugs and Boozy Burks. Yep. That's pretty clever, man. You know?
Hell yeah. That's why they make them sacrifice their kids. Like O.J. Simpson's lawyer, the Kardashian, he sacrificed his 3 daughters. And that's why he has them all named with a K, because the 3 Ks represents 33. See, KKK, you know.
That the guy that changed himself.
Caitlyn, Kenneth.
I believe he's supposed to be running for mayor in Cali or something.
Yeah. And I was meditating. I was like, you're a demon, because you know they set him up. Like, look, we're gonna let you know, pretty much like where you at. You want to go bankrupt? So they're like, we'll keep you in a high position, but you got to become a woman. Yep. And his cuck ass was all for it, man. Because I remember in the world, I was times I watched the Kardashian show. Remember they had the show, so you'd see him.
He's
you know,
club.
Yeah, and he was on the Wheaties box.
Yeah. Right.
This man was an athlete.
He was like a prominent figure in sports. You know?
Yeah, an Olympian. And then one of his first so-called major boyfriends was a Jake. Sickos, man.
Then after he got that whole change, they gave this dude
ESPY
trophy. Yeah,
ESPY.
Yeah.
Woman of the year.
Yep. So where are you women at? Punk ass women. Why ain't you protest against that?
Well, now it's such an invasion into women's sports is being dominated by people that
Transformers.
now they want to say something about it. You see?
This place is a joke.
Yeah. You had actually, I believe, a few years back, you had it was like a high school team. You had it was an old ass Transformer. Edomite.
Grown.
Yeah, played for the high school girls team. Yeah. You can look it up. It's a real article, real thing.
Yeah, he looked like the fucking gym coach from Scary Movie. Remember that was a nigga.
Yeah.
Remember she was like, "Thank you for all your help." So they've been putting that shit in movies, man.
Right. And beauty pageants, the Transformer be winning and stuff. What's that? America.
Crazy.
Top model.
Let me keep going. Psalms 83 and 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
Right, numero uno. There you go. Who would allow us to pass through his land for water?
The Ishmaelites
The Arabs.
of Moab and the
There you go, Moab, man. That's the top three that are against us. You could throw Ammon in there too, which I'm going to say, but you know.
And then now you have something called the Trilateral Commission, which is the U.S., Europe, and Japan. Which Japan is Ammon, you know, but they're all because Ammon's right in here too. That's why Esau do dealings with South Korea, and then later on he'll tiptoe and do it with North Korea. See, he's a division maker, and he's about contention. And it says, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek. That's why the least of the flock shall draw them out. See, that's why you have the 1948 Belfort Declaration. Okay, you're good. You notice only Jake will do that. He'll apologize. And it says, an Amalek, the Philistines. It's funny how Amalek and the Philistines are neck and neck, because that's what you have right now in our land.
Which, right. Which those people over there that claiming to be Philistines are the Arabs.
Yep. And
That's giving them a ham.
it says, with the inhabitants of Tyre, and it says, Ashur also is joined with them. They have hoping the children of Lot. Who's that? Ammon and Moab. See?
They all against us.
Yep.
Can you give me that Jeremiah? We get a few more. Jeremiah 12. You have some?
Yeah, talking about Exodus. This Exodus chapter 1. I'm gonna start at verse 15. Exodus 1 and 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives. And this is that new king in Egypt after Joseph died. And it says, spake of the midwives. What's like it? It says, of which the name of the one was Shapara, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and seat them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
So now, modern day, we have what? Planned Parenthood.
But how they know it was a son? Why didn't he choose it? Don't they tell you that? They got to choose if he's a woman or a man? Your brother see that? Then now they say the infant's got to choose?
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, yep, I did, yep.
But you still got to teach his ass how to tie his shoes
Yep.
and wipe his ass. But he can pick a different gender. Esau's got to be kicked in the face with a nuke, man.
That's why they were bringing in drag queens to read for them.
Yep. Yep. To put that spell on him.
That's spell.
Fucking demon.
Fucking library. And it says, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him.
Right, so now they got Margaret Sanger Planned Parenthood. When she said she wants to exterminate all the Negroes.
Yep.
She said, we don't want the word to get out that we want to exterminate these niggas.
Is that the one where she said that she's the pale horse?
No, that's a different one.
There's another lady that said that too, right? Okay.
Both Edomite woman though. But
Yeah.
I believe she's like a higher elite. I believe she wrote a book called The Rider of the Pale Horse. So they know who they are in prophecy. They know they come to bring death, destruction, lies, and confusion. You know?
And also, that proves that a man carries the seed. Because how come, they didn't kill the daughters? If you want to get revelation, you got to kill the men,
That's right. That lineage is being passed down through that man. Just like Moses and Aaron came through Kohath. And then from them came the sons of Aaron.
And it says, but if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Right, because a daughter, one of those Israelite women, they can get married to a Hamite. And they could bring forth those Hamitic children, or those Martazarian sons.
Verse 17, but the midwives feared the Most High and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them.
Right, so they had faith.
But saved the men children alive.
Hey, can I say something? I don't know you brothers, you ever hear how China will kill babies too?
Yep.
And they kill only who? The girls. Because they're trying to repopulate. So I was just looking it up. It's called female infanticide in China. So they would actually take you, if you had a baby and it wasn't a male, they would off that shit. Because they know the male is going to bring it. They know the male's going to keep it going.
Yeah, because they're overpopulated, they believe.
Yeah, and limited.
One
child.
Two children. Yep. They're also doing that in India. If you have a girl, they're discarded.
Damn.
And it says, But save the men children alive. And that was one right there.
No, read that again.
It's like it. Exodus 1 and 17. But the midwives feared the Most High and, keep going, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive.
Yeah.
And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women.
Right, our women are stronger. All right, our women are better above the other nations' women. Not right now because they're on the curses, but our women, they give birth they can pump out babies better than these heathen women. They're weak. You know, a lot of these heathen women, they died during childbirth. They gotta get C-sections. That's why they couldn't do it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. They always show you that Edomite movie. Someone named like Jasper. His mom died at labor. It's an Edomite.
And it says, for they are lively.
And that's when you go into the translation, meaning by the time that the midwives were coming to help her put the baby was already on the nip,
already sucking,
chilling, and you know can't take her because like they do now. When the woman has birth, they take the baby away.
Yeah, take him out, they give him a shot. They say they gotta weigh him. They be doing all types of shit. And they take the blood. Like, nah.
And it says,
that's why a lot of babies get swapped.
Yep.
That's why this society is so fucking wicked.
Yep.
You know?
and it says, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them.
See, they're already delivered. The baby already out by the time we get there.
Right.
You know?
You ain't about to snatch someone's child away from them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how Moses' mother and father had theirs. You know? And also Esau, he single-handedly took the midwives out of the practice of childbirth so he could make you go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So he specifically took them out, man. And they show you that in movies. I can't remember the movie Slovakia that I was watching. Damn, I don't want to, it might have been the movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson, but I might be wrong. But in the movie, he explains that they took the midwives out and called them witches. That's why you had the Salem witch trials, because they were claiming them women to be witches. That's why they would give them, like they would say, if you float, you're a witch. So you're gonna fucking drown. You know you float when you go in the water. So there's certain things that they did just to kill them. And that single-handedly took the midwives out the picture and made you take your ass to the hospital to get all jacked up.
Right, because when they go there, they get like the shot in the back.
Epidural,
and that fucks them up. They be fucked up for life.
And the
They can't
baby
walk, they have all type of back pain and shit.
Yeah.
Can't bend down. You know.
Well, the baby gets high. They pump her with this drug, and then the baby's in there zooted out, completely zooted, man, through. And then their dumb asses. Here it is. You got fucking Newton, laws of physics and gravity. I got something that's in me that's got to come out, and I'm laying down.
Right.
You don't even go number 2 laying down. Right. You're supposed to squat.
Exactly.
You're supposed to squat, and then whoop.
But that was the first thing my BM did when
But then they'll tell you to bounce on the ball.
When she got out of the bed, she was like,
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're like, no, you gotta lay down. But she was trying to naturally.
And that's why your mom will be like, I was in labor for 20 hours. Well, who told you to lay down?
Wow.
Esau. You know?
That slows down the process of the baby
Yep.
coming out.
Yep.
Makes that shit more pain.
Yep. Yeah. Very pain. And also they cut nutrients. We can't even go into it. Yeah. But bro, the way they handle it is completely off. You know?
Exodus 1 and 20. Therefore, the Most High dealt well with the midwives.
Yeah, they got a blessing for that, man.
And the people multiplied and waxed very mighty.
Right, so the Lord blessed our nation. You know?
And it came to pass because the midwives feared the Most High.
Yeah, because the Pharaoh wasn't in the midst with Jake, so he was giving out decrees. But if if a new law comes into play, that police officer necessarily don't have to always invoke it. So like back then, they wasn't always necessarily invoking the law of killing that boy, you know, because you get to a certain age where now that boy is helpful in the field. Why are you gonna kill him? You still had things that needed to be built. You had still agriculture, buildings, everything still needed to take place. So it got to a point where it's like they couldn't kill them all, you know.
And it says,
like now, They're at a point where it's like we've tried, you know, the Planned Parenthood. It says planned.
Right.
They planned the parenthood.
Well, you would think so, but it ain't Planned Parenthood. It's a planned destruction of your unborn child.
Right, but that's what I mean. That was their plan. That was their agenda. That was their enterprise. How to get you, right? So they did that. They did the diet. You know, they did the school system. They did the ghettos. They did the project. But now it's like none of it's working. So we got to do a mass. We got to push the button. We got to just get them all. We got to get them all out.
Right.
You know?
And why it's called parenthood when I can't be a parent? My children, my baby's dead. You know?
Exactly. Hypocrisy.
Right.
You know?
Hey, just the etymology of parenthood, it
That's
means
the
the
spirit.
state of being a parent. So Esau's coming in and taking your place and making the decision to go ahead and kill the baby.
Yep. And that's what? That's a plan of the New World Order where the state becomes the parent. You know?
Back in Exodus chapter...
Your child gets mad at you because you ain't home to hang with them, so they get a bond with this paid fucking surrogate teacher, but then your ass got to go to work to pay the bills so that baby can be in the house to go back to the school. You fucks.
Man. Back in Exodus chapter 1 and 21, and it came to pass, because the midwives feared the Most High, that he made them houses, and Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter, he shall save alive.
Yeah, and that's why in the wilderness you had that Jake woman that was with that Hamite. Remember? Because you had a lot of women that were being kept alive, so they need to get popped. So who were they turning to? The Egyptians.
You got the nerve to talk shit about Moses.
Right. But you was with this nigga with a disc in his lip.
Right.
You know? I was holding Jeremiah 12. This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
Right, your heritage is your culture, your land, your nationality, your lineage. All right, so our heritage is scattered. Our heritage is mixed up, man, amongst the different nations where we've been scattered.
And even when you just Google speckled bird, it'll show a company of beautiful birds, and it'll literally be white with dots of black, and in the midst brown. So we come in white, black. Right, this is a speckled bird right there. That's a spirit. There's a speckled bird right there. It's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that in it. You know?
Like a cake unturned. Even the prophecy on Ephraim. Like some Ephraimites are lighter than others. Some Ephraimites are darker than others. Really, that could fit upon all the tribes.
Yep. Well, remember, who conquered Spain? The Moors. The Moors were dark-skinned men. Then you had a mix of Esau, and then they call themselves Spanish because, hey, man, you Spanish Negro, you know? Because history plays a major part in prophecy. Jeremiah 12.
What's that movie where he said he called the boss an eggplant? You know what I'm talking about?
That sounds super familiar.
He pretty much told me, he said, the Moors go back to niggas. But if you didn't think it was a Jake, it looked like a white boy, but the Edomite knew it. And he was putting them on. He said,
it was a mafia movie, right?
Is it Goodfellas, something like that?
No, not Goodfellas. Not Boondocks. It sounds like that, but it's not
something
that.
like that.
I know what
it's
yeah.
a great movie.
Yeah.
Where's the derogatory term? Because they said Jake had like eggplant shaped heads. You know that.
And the color.
Yeah, like black on the inside, white on the outside, like Oreo. You know what Jake said?
Jeremiah 12 and verse 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird.
So speckled meaning variegated, meaning many colors, man. Because the Lord likes variety. That's why there's 12 tribes, man. 12 tribes, 12 gates, you know.
And on top of it, let a Christian read this, explain why his heritage is speckled bird. Then you'd have to go to the curses. Then you'd have to go to Daniel. Then you'd have to go to the prophecies, you know. And it says, the birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour.
Right, the other nations are, you got to think about it, the land of Israel is like in the center of all the nations, man. So they're just watching us, plotting on us, man. The whole time Edom was plotting on us. When we got took down by the Babylonians, Edom was saying, raise it, man. Taking us into captive, killing our people, you know?
Yeah, he was standing back like he's watching a damn NFL game, you know?
They also helped burn the first temple, too, with those Babylonians, man, you know?
When we first came out of Egypt, who came against us?
Yeah, Amalek.
Amalek.
The first one was Amalek.
First fucking one.
Which Amalek's the dumbest of Esau, and Teman is the wisest. So those dumbass gutter rats over there, man. You know?
I'm good.
You good? Yeah, I'm good.
With that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, Wakasai, Wampawakim. Peace, mercy, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.